You say that equipment and welfare of soldiers has been top priority, but then there have been issues. Do you admit that there have been issues? I think only recently the Leahy law came on again, and then we heard that Nigeria was trying to import arms from Brazil, which was being blocked by the United States. Is that true?
I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware.
So the newspaper reports were not quite correct?
I'm not aware that we have any problems, getting, that Leahy law is being invoked again. No.
So everything is fine. Are you confirming that everything is okay with procurement of arms for our military?
Well, to the best of my knowledge, yes.
Okay. Let us take the next question then. Talking about conflicts, another type of conflict that has taken unprecedented dimensions is this one between farmers and herdsmen. And a lot of people are not quite clear on what the federal government intends to do about solving the conflict. I don't know if you're also privy to some of the accusations that has come from certain areas where people allege that there is some attempt to take over their lands. And we've also heard in some instances where the lands of these people have been taken over. Is the government aware of this?
Well, I don't agree that there's unprecedented, as if there's a spike. I don't think so. No. The issue of...
You don't agree that there's a spike?
No, I don't think, no.
This year alone, we've lost about 1,000 lives to this conflict.
No, when you say a spike, I say spike, I say, probably the last 2-3 weeks or the last 1 month. No, because we've recognized the problem, and the government has been working very hard through the communities, working very hard through the the law enforcement agencies to ensure that this issue is contained. Now, the issue of herdsmen and farmers, I think, is by far much more complex than people would want to believe. I don't see. It's not as if herdsmen and farmers only started interacting or intermingling last year or 2 years or 3 years ago. No, over time there's been a very cordial and mutual relationship between the herdsmen and the farmers. I remember before the herdsmen would leave the north to go to the south when it's time for harvest, and the cattle on the way will just eat the food, the leftovers of the harvest and the stalks, and then by the time it's time for planting, they are back.
Alhaji, the reason I asked this, only recently the Deputy Governor of Kaduna State was on Sunrise Daily talking about the conflicts, because right now it seems to be taking on new dimensions. The allegations that the state governments have not been as decisive as they should be in dealing with this conflict. The Governor of Benue State has been on this show. He's talked about the conflict in his state as well.
Well,
he says that he's received support from the federal government, but then from what some of the investigations already carried out, it would seem that there is more to this conflict than meets the eye.
Yes, frankly speaking, there's nothing than what meets the eye in this conflict. What is the conflict about? Climate change has contributed to this conflict, because, before, when there was abundance of resources, there was less conflict. Lack of, tolerance on both parties, has contributed to this. Corruption has also contributed to this. But generally, the impression which is being created, as if some politicians are behind this and they are trying to pitch the Christians against Muslims or one part of the country against the South, I think is completely false.
What steps has the government taken to ensure that everybody's on the same page in terms of dealing with the menace?
Well, you see, the issues, vary from state to state. And what the government has done is has encouraged state governments to set up, what we call community relation committees that would deal with these issues, made up of the various, stakeholders, farmers, cattle herdsmen, and the community in some states. Because I remember I was talking to one of the police commissioners just on Tuesday this morning, and he explained to me that in the state where he presides, what they've decided to do is that the herdsmen who reside in that state are actually at the vanguard of ensuring that herdsmen coming from outside do not take a route whereby they would, destroy the crops of the farmers. So there's a lot of cooperation between the herdsmen, the farmers, the governments, and the local communities.
In what state precisely is that?
I think this is in Abia State.
In Abia State. Now, let's quickly come to the ministry which you directly oversee. You've been quoted as saying that the government is underreported, following which your ministry has launched an app. I think that happened yesterday. Yeah. But many argue that perhaps it is the Ministry of Information that needs to be reformed or scrapped. What do you think of this?
Well, it will be quite unfair and to be quite preposterous to say, because I said the government is underreported, because I want to cure that mischief, and I've launched an app, a mobile app that will allow you to get information about government in real time, undiluted, to say, oh, the ministry should be scrapped. Well, I think the important thing for me is what has been my scorecard in the last 1 year as Minister of Information and Culture. Well, as Minister of Information and Culture, I've always said that my mission is to use information and culture, the unique powers of information and culture, to power the change agenda of government, to ensure that government is adequately represented, is adequately reported. And when we found that the government was not, that our reports was being diluted, our reports were being twisted, decided to go straight to the people. And that's when we instituted the town hall meetings. We've held, 6 town hall meetings to date. We've held in Uyo, we've held in Enugu, we've held in Lagos, we've held in Kano, we held in Kaduna, we held in Abuja. So
you're going to be encouraging people to download these apps, is that what you're saying?
Of course, yes.
How soon are they going to be available?
They're already available.
Okay. Well, Alhaji Mohammed, I'm afraid that we've run out of time. So much to ask you, yet very little time. Well, we must thank you so much for coming on Hard Copy. Well, that's the program today. Thank you for being a part of it. Don't forget, you can always watch previous editions of the show by logging on to youtube.com/channelsweb. I'm Maokwe Ogun. It's bye for now.